Hi, everybody. Hello, Annie Bear. Okay, so you've got your granddaughter coming. That's nice. Yeah, I wasn't too sure about doing a live today. I just simply thought I would toss it on in case people would like to come chat and everything. um, you can absolutely do a spiral for the signs for creation. We're currently in the sign of Namu, which is the sign of the dove. And I don't know if my comment went through or not this morning. I was noticing because I'd gone to your community page, Annie Bear, and I saw a feather that you had. I want to say that was a dove. It looked to be like a dove feather, which is Namu. Um, so with living and breathing my Ita in the center, is it a spiral? Yeah, I think it is. Even though I see it as kind of an omnipresent, just big ball of bright white light, to me it is like omnipresent, so it's always the same static emanating ball of light. But see, I was right. It was a dove's feather, which is also Namu, which is wonderful. Good morning, Liz. But yeah, as far as the spirals, it can. I've seen it represented as a spiral or a vortex um, for the energies on that. You also had a question about. I don't know the connections with Iceland and Lemuria. I know Hunaflash has talked about being in. Yeah, see, and that's just it. Everybody that is here, that's found me on any of my timelines or any of my videos or things. This is Lemuria 5. I've already claimed it, so whether you're in it or not. But yeah, to get back to Iceland, I know Huda Flash has been to Iceland, but I don't know what the connections are. I want to say that's the continent for Hia, which is the sign of the hare, but I'm not positive about that. I do know that the he's been in a lot of the hot huts and things like that. Um, on Insight Timer, I don't recognize what that is. Good morning, Utica. How you doing over there? Yeah, I don't know what Insight Timer is. I'm pretty sure that he and Hunatama Ake are traveling because I believe that they're coming up on needing to get up to Vancouver. They have an event that's coming up on me. Oh, maybe I'm too early for it. But I think um, I think the Burning Mask event is coming up, and I want to say that's going to be next week. So I don't know when they are flying to Vancouver in Canada for that, but that's going to be pretty impressive because that's going to be not just a. He's got a couple of dragon rides he's going to be doing. He'll be sealing some people that are in person, but he's going to be gathering tribal elders that haven't been together in, I would say, a decent 20 years. So it's going to be very impressive to see what the indigenous elders bring forth and what they can come with. Now, Liz, I had a few nights where I wake up hearing and seeing a huge flash. No idea where it comes from. Nothing local, feels powerfully profound. Yes, actually, Liz. And thank you, Andy Bear. I think that's really, I'm just going to speak to this right quick. I think that's really beneficial, and I am so proud of you for being on top of pattern interrupting and just really honoring getting after that and making sure you're standing in your resonance. That's amazing. But what Liz was discussing, this I can speak to this. That what you're describing is very much what I see in my bedroom, and have for several night for quite a long time. So what what I usually have going on in my bedroom at night is flashes of different colored lights, but also those huge bright white flashes of light. I mean, I've had it where my bedroom is an internal room in the house, so really there's not any way of getting a car light in there, but I've been woken up by that. And also I've had mornings where I've been asleep with a pillow over my head and I've still had this flashing white light just wake me up, and it's like, who's driving the car? Why am I seeing this? And then it dawns on me as I'm pulling the pillow off my head. It's like, wait, I can't possibly have seen that. And the other thing that I see is up towards the ceiling. They're very small. They're probably about that big. But they're bright colored white lights or different colors of whites. Sometimes they will be aqua color. Sometimes they will be blues. Like this last, I would say 10 days have been blues for me. But I've had yellows, I've had pinks, I've had different color. Mostly my colors are pastels because I tend to be a pastel kind of gal. But they are usually moving all around the ceiling. And then they come and go. My closet's right beside me, and even though the closet doors are open, they come and go between me and the closet. And there's been so many times that I have watched them go from me and then to the closet, and then it's like they dissipate in the closet. I know that they're going into a different dimension. So that's so cool because it's giving me the idea that, people have asked me, it's like, well, what do you think the new world's going to be? And I think once we start to crack the nut on our dimensions and upgrading and everything, I think that, being able to travel between the realms is going to be capable. It really seems kind of pretty cool. Oh, so Liz, did you have like, are you anywhere near the volcanoes? Because sometimes the volcanoes will also do that strange flash. There when I was in Guatemala, I lived in Guatemala, and we lived at the base of Volcán de Agua in Antigua, and I can distinctly remember watching the lightning coming up and out of Agua, and nobody else seemed to see it except for me and my husband. So it's really strange. I'm going to speak to this one right quick. Dragon energy has arrived on Earth. They are different colors. And I would say for your little dragon, just keep talking to it and nurturing it. The dragons themselves there are different versions of dragons, some of which are on the ley lines. Some have been within the Earth itself. And then some of them are cosmic dragons. I've heard it said that whenever you have the comets that pass by, those are also different dragon nations and relations. So it's pretty cool. Good morning, Jules. How you doing this morning? Nice to see you here. Hello, Valerie. Hi. This is just kind of a loose and fast here. I want to pop this one up right quick. The chat's going so fast. I'm just trying to dip in here and see what's going on. This is just a really loose, basically a chat, so that anybody can come in and dip in and get their questions and everything. So let's see. Quick update on Ningwei. Back to her normal self. Thinks she might have twisted a ligament. That's possible. I know the last time that I was working with her, she felt, she had a lot of congestion that was on her digestive meridians, which was why I was kind of a little panicky that maybe she had eaten something that she shouldn't. But I am very happy to hear that she is back to her normal self. Yeah, that's the other one too. I've had for nighttime, and this isn't unusual. Whenever I work on an animal, sometimes they are aware of their energy system, but a lot of times I'll be the first person that they can communicate with the way that they usually communicate with each other, which is via telepathy. And so a lot of times after I've done some sort of energy work, I'll have them hop into my bed at night because they're really kind of, they think it's a kick, you know, they'll travel to me energetically. And earlier this week, I was working on a horse, and yeah, I had him jump into the bed, curl up alongside of me. It's always a huge jar when that happens. So it's interesting. The time jumping thing, absolutely, like 10 days of it. I've had a couple of nights now where I've been exhausted. And of course, anybody that's been in my sphere for a little while, anytime that you're exhausted, because we are going through a whole bunch of upgrades right now, absolutely go ahead and get yourself a nap. Sometimes I'll fight it, but usually it's what's needed because your body is changing. And so we need the time and we need the energy in order to activate. And that's what's causing the exhaustion, is because our DNA is being activated by the photons, especially that are coming in. But, you know, even seeing my name, seeing some of the Lemurian technology, being exposed to some of the Lemurian seed sounds, these are all things that are also activating actively as we're going forward. And yeah, so some of the things that I've had for the time jumping, I have gone to bed and felt like I have slept an entire night, looked at the clock, and it's only gone maybe an hour. And then I've fallen asleep, and then I've woken up, and it has been earlier than whenever I checked the other times. So there's been some times whenever I've had feels like 3 days of sleep just in that one night. It's pretty crazy. Scroll down here. Ah, beautiful. Ah, thank you, Val. So sweet. Thank you for joining in. Let's see what we got here. Hi, Inner Light Awakening. How are you doing today? Yay. Cool. Yeah, I've had a lot of the small lights that I've seen have been very pixie-like. So let me see here. Yay. Hi, did someone say shenanigans? How you doing today? Let's see, the blue whales. I know, right? They're right there. Was wondering, can only pet owners or oh no, that's not a problem. Let me see. Someone in Spain has 5 cats. Has a valve replaced and said the pets take the energy of the owner. Utica, are you asking for? I'm a little confused because people are critters too. So I can certainly do that for, are you needing some support for somebody's heart? Is a little unclear on this one. So it sounds like maybe, is it the dog or the cats or the person? And yeah, it can certainly be all of them. I could certainly send over a bubble for all of them if you would like. 10 days and counting for what, Val? What do you got going? Us? I bet. Well, we're actually, no, we're coming up pretty quick. Yeah, I'm going to be, for everybody that's here, I'm going to be on Illumination Portal next Wednesday. We've got a show. Valerie and I have a show next, this upcoming Wednesday. So the 25th, I'm going to be on with Valerie at Illumination Portal. That'll be fun. What we got here? Suspended plans for the Vancouver. It's actually been out of mind till you just popped up. Could I speak to this? Did you suspend your plans for traveling there, Gray? It's not me that's doing it. It's Huna Flash, the fellow that I learned from. That's just it. The fellow that I learned from, when he was 7 years old, He is Maori, and he is from a royal lineage in Maori. And so whenever he was 7 years old, he had an experience, and he ended up going into the mystery school at age 7 and learned. And so he's the one that's actually going to be up in Vancouver in Canada for the gathering. And it's called Burning Mask for the gathering. And he's going to be having several of the elders assembling there, which, from what I understand, have not been for quite some time, which should be interesting. He's also doing a dragon ride, which, when you've heard me do the undoing and the doing codes, those are the same codes that he's going to be using for that. However, what he does for those particular codes with that many people together, it is quite an experience, because you're riding the dragon, and at times the dragon rides you. So it can be extremely intense, especially with that many people all kind of compacted together. Yeah, the clock is just really spinning, which is kind of crazy. To be from Sirius, I have been stalked. Sirius was the first one that I have seen moving around, as far as the energies and just watching the physical star. That was the first star that I saw, and that was back, I want to say 2016 it did that, because I was just looking up in the night sky, and that's one of my absolute favorite stars. So I'm waving to the star as you do, and it began bobbing back, which, Sirius is a binary star. So since there are 2 planets there that revolve around each other, their names in Lemuria are Kahu and Rehu. So it began stalking me. But yeah, that day it started to fall out of its regular constellation, which I gotta say was very disorienting to me. I was pretty freaked out over that. Sea gray. Last 10 days did some. I'm just simply scrolling through. Ooh, that sounds intriguing. Cool. Theory on crystals. Very cool. Oh, here we go. Okay. Sure. Anybody that just needs a little bit of extra heart space energy, or if you think that your own meridians are a little scrambled, you can just hook on to this. I'm just going to do a quick ball of energy to do this. Sometimes whenever you do a heart surgery, it's going to displace the meridians, and it will, because they have to. Your organs are being shoved and moved, and all kinds of things are being moved. So we're just going to pull the energy back up in the correct direction. There we go. Perfect. And then that'll go ahead and echo out into the dog and the cats. Oh no. So your theory, plants and crystals came from star nations. Actually that is I've heard similar theory for them coming in from the comets. Like, we are star seeds. We landed here. And I would say that would be for all life. I mean, I've seen some theories about Feka, the octopi, from being off planet. Which makes me wonder, what was here initially. But there's so much of our planet that we haven't even begun to explore. Yes, Mautetaki. That is his name, actually. He is like a bolt of lightning, and from all accounts, that's exactly what he was like as a kid and beyond. Oh, it's pretty funny. Oh, okay. Utica, if you're doing that, and this is going to be for anybody that does the energy healing, I wanted to say, hi, Paul, first off. Um, if you're doing any form of healing, Reiki or whatever, I don't know if your other people tell you how to do this, but I wanted to give you a heads up when you are doing some form of an energy healing for somebody. What you need to do is you do need to do similar to the bubble technique that I do, where you are opening up a channel from above. And so you need to have that light streaming in from above all the way through your body, all the way through into Mother Earth. Mother Earth needs to bring up another energy channel from below so that you're being fed from above and below. Have those two meet in your heart space, flood and or surround your whole body with that bubble of both of those energies. Then when you go to heal someone else, it is not your personal energy that's being used for that. You need to ensure that you're using a universal energy. And you'll know because the more that you do the energy healing for somebody, group or the critters or yourself or somebody else, you will feel more and more energized. If you're feeling drained, you've done it wrong. And don't worry about it. Everybody does it incorrectly. I've done it incorrectly until I learned how to do it correctly. What's happening is if you're feeling drained, you have accidentally given them your personal energy. Don't do that. You can't do that because what's going to happen is if you're exhausted from that, you will have to disconnect and you will have to go inwards for at least a good 3 days to recover from that. So again, make sure that you're opening a channel from above, bringing in that energy from Mother Earth. It's going to meet in your heart space, push it all the way around you. And then whenever you go, because you've got to have an overflowing cup before you can gift to anybody else. Okay? Yeah, that way you don't end up drained and you don't end up harmed from that. There we go. Scrolling, scrolling. Wow. From Pennsylvania doing yard work and to take the break. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's see. We were all one when Lemuria fell, along with Atlantis too, the aberrations. Oh, you're thinking of the resonance that were released whenever it happened. It's kind of like an echo, Annie Bear. And that's just it. We've been multiple beings since then. I'd love to do the same group chat with kids coming and what star connections. As a kid, they were from different star connections too. Yeah, and that's just it. Yeah, that's just it. There's a lot of people who decided that we were all star seeds. And some people were really good about being able to dip into that and feeling the vibration. Hi, Amanda Carroll. How you doing? Oh, yeah, locked into your bed. I know that feeling all too well. Hmm. Yep, yep. Oh, it's for the Pleiadian stuff. Sure. It is just, I see that a lot. I've seen that from a lot of healers. And as I said, that's an amateur mistake because I have been amateur and I have made the same mistake and I know exactly how it feels. And so you definitely need to, like whenever I started to do the Shiatsu and I learned it hands-on, I knew I was doing it correctly. I knew it was the correct process because as I was working on the horses, it would take me 1 hour to work a horse in person. No more, no less. Actually, I take that back. If there was something going on in the horse that needed more, then it would take over an hour, but certainly nothing less whenever I was doing hands-on. And I had, it was, it was like doing 3 for the price of 1, because usually by the time I was complete with the horse, I had balanced the energy, even though I was doing the hands-on massage for the horse, I noticed that the energy was balanced for me, the owner, the horse, and usually the entire barn. And then I had horses lined up a mile long, and I was up for it. Hour after hour after hour after hour, I was working the horses and quite happy to go on to the next one. So, see, I was actually getting energized from doing the energy healing, especially hands-on with them. The main reason that I went to remote to begin with was because so many of the horses that I was working on, they were hours and hours one way for me to reach them. I was driving 3 hours one way. One pony was 5 hours one way, and the one poor guy, I couldn't help him because he was half a world away. So that was really sad. Oh dear. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you what, Gray. I haven't done any of the Lemurian stuff. So let me go ahead and for everybody that's in here, I'm going to go ahead and just do 2 quick processes then. And I'm going to do the harmonization so that we're all on the same page. And then I'll go ahead and I will do a quick undoing and a doing that can help you to collapse. And then let me see, so you can mobilize in a few days. Gray, is there any opportunity that you have any form of a photo that you could pop on for your profile? Like right now, you've got the little purple G. And it's, I know it's a big ask because I got to be honest, I'm not sure I could figure out how to change that myself. But if you could pop me a photo, I might be able to do some energy for you as well. Okay. So let's get started just with the harmonization right quick, and then we'll see how you feel afterwards. Tihe, hori, hora, mahakawatahi. Iti ingawa te tau iri te o te wana, waiua tapu. Iti ingawa te whenui, trarani te katau, waiua tapu. Iti ingawa te whaia te amatua te tama, waiua tapu. Tihe, hori, hora. Te e a u, I a be u, e o o, pu u, ai il. Ma eb e no to eb o ul a e te I a u be o be a il I ul o eb tana nu eb ma il I. There we go. Cool. Okay. Gray, no photo, that's fine. What I'm gonna do for you right quick, if I can figure out how to hide this, I'm just going to go ahead and send along some energy to you if you would like. Oh, yeah. You know, Gray, the stuff that I just did probably will be doing it to begin with. Let's get you grounded. You're welcome. Just kind of playing with everybody's head energy right now. It's a lot less heavy than it has been, I'll say that. It's kind of nice. And a lot of people, this is part of the reason that I hopped on here, is because so many people have been feeling really ungrounded. And I love the redwoods. I've been there, and they're huge. They're so interconnected. They're grounded. You get a real love vibe from them. I mean, they're very awe-inspiring, but they're so nurturing whenever you go to visit with them. They're just beautiful. So some of the people that might be sensitive to energy might be feeling me a little bit around your head. I know sometimes we've got some headaches that are going on. Some people will call them visual migraines or hallucinations, but it can't really be a hallucination if you're really seeing it. And it can't really be a hologram if people are seeing it, because there's a whole bunch of them. Yes, Utica, it's automatically, it's not that it cuts cords, it collapses. great. Did some. That sounds beautiful. The red jasper in the last couple of days have been really, really grounding. That's wonderful. Yeah, they do, don't they? The really large trees remind me of the whales. I agree. So if people can feel me right now, I'm just basically spending some time around the headspace, and I'm also going to be spending some time around the feet once I've finished with this. Yeah, a weird sinus headache, neck pressure thing. I've had a really kinked neck for the last 2 or 3 days, which is just unusual for me. Wow, that's wonderful. That's great, did some. Sounds like it's a really good protection stone for you. I have a black obsidian for my protection stone, but whichever stones that you find work for you, run with it. You'll feel it in your body, and that's just it. You need to be the authority for you. I'm still working on energy right now as I'm speaking, so um, actually it should start releasing a bit from the sinuses for you. Perfect. Because it's red jasper, I'm thinking because it's red, it's working on the PTSD. It's giving you support. It's rooting you. Aw, Liz and all. Thumbs up, you guys. Yeah, I'm not savvy with all this stuff. I had to add the silly little tag in the corner. Somebody said, go put the little, I had to change my logo to some sort of a like and subscribe thingy. It's like, okay. I'm not savvy, but I know it does help the algorithm. Sorry, I'm working on shoulder blades, and I'm going to work on the shoulder blades. I'm right in between the shoulder blades and the shoulder blades themselves. And in just a few, we'll work underneath the shoulder blades. There are meridians that run in between the spine and on top of the shoulder blades. And these are the ones that are for stomach upset, sometimes anxiety. If you're all nervous and you're keyed up, the neck and the shoulders will cause you to have stomach trouble. You'll feel nauseous or like you won't want to eat. Isn't that wonderful? This is wonderful. That is perfect, did some. That means that you're starting to really listen for yourself, because see, you are the highest authority for you. That is really cool. It's exactly what's needed. Mm-hmm. Utica, what I need you to do is whenever you need to travel tomorrow, and you can start practicing it today, when you do the bubble technique, go ahead and do a double or even a triple bubble around it. So when you do your bubble, original bubble, like we come in from above, we go all the way through, and then we come. Actually, would you guys just like me to walk you through one of those meditations? I've already done part of your energy stuff. But what I mean is when you've created your aura around you and you've got yourself in that bubble, go ahead and pretend another layer of a different color over the top of it. And if you need, go ahead and do even another bubble around that so that you've got 3 of those in place. Perfect. Oh, wonderful. Great. Great. Yeah, you're welcome. Sometimes it's helpful to know, um, just to get the feedback that you're on the right track for that. Okay, cool. Gray, this is probably going to be slightly disorienting, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the energy up from the ground for you and up your center line. Yeah, it is nice. Because down here, we have so much stuff where we don't get the validation, or worse, we have somebody that's like jealous or something, so they'll tell you the exact opposite. And it just really rocks your boat. So yeah, this is nice. It gives you feedback. It encourages you to keep doing what you're doing. Okay, great. Okay, everybody. Oh, you're so welcome, Val. You're so welcome. Yeah, I'm pretty much finished with it, but yeah, I've just finished bringing the energy back up, so it should be pretty well balanced, and that congestion that was around the head should be pretty much dissipated by now. I used the violet golden flame, though the violet flame, the golden flame, and then the turquoise blue one from the 13th dimension. Yeah, I've been playing around with the 4th dimension actually, transmuting it because I've done so much alchemy for the 3rd dimension. So I've actually stepped into, because it was one of those things where it's like, I think I felt prompted to move into the 4th dimensional space to start working with it a bit more. Usually I'm so far out there, it's ridiculous. And I gotta be honest, I have no idea what the little light beings at night. At one point I could feel them. That was back in 2021, I think it was. But I could literally feel them attaching wings, which was crazy. But anytime that I've tried to directly ask them, what are they doing? I mean, they're saying it's upgrades, it's activations. They won't go into any specifics of what's going on. There's no intent, no anything like that. Working from a higher dimension. Well, I hope so, considering how many of these beings that I keep seeing. And I gotta be honest, I've seen a lot of these since I was a kid. I'm thankful that some of it was retained from childhood. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. But yeah, as I was saying with the redwoods, that's what I picked for my thumbnail today, and it's been a long, long time since I've been out there. But yeah, they just have an incredible energy to them, and their roots, the root system on them, they're interlocked. So I don't know if you've ever seen a video of them when the redwoods, whenever our winter storms come in. It's incredible to watch the ground. I mean, sometimes they're like, there's a dragon that's moving under the earth, because it will make the trees are the ones that are moving because of the high winds that we have coming in, and then in turn it will make their roots heave. And it looks like a dragon is rolling over underneath. But they are interlocked, especially the redwoods, because our winds, whenever they hit directly, they're well over 100 miles per hour. And so by them holding on to each other, they're able to keep from being knocked over. And they smell divine. Oh my word. Yeah, I am pretty high up there in the dimensions. This morning I had a strange one because last 10 days have been, well, Arcturus has been stalking me for quite some time. And the last 10 days have been blue, a lot of blue beings. But this morning, whenever I was watching the stars, Aldebaran, of all people, was falling out of his position in the Taurus constellation. And I have to admit, I don't know with Aldebaran who, what community is connected to Aldebaran. I don't know. They smell, I want to say they smell like incense cedars, but that's not quite the exact smell. They're very distinctive. Actually, I think I'll look that up. La 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 la. Don't mind me. I'm going to pop over here and see I probably spelled Aldebaran. I'm just curious to see what star constellation. I know it's in the Taurus constellation. I was just curious to see. Oh, Hyadian starseeds are from the star system called Aldebaran, which is obviously in the constellation of Taurus. It's our 15th brightest star, a diameter, get this, 44 times bigger than the sun. That's pretty funny. I'm just going to read this right quick. So it says Hyadian starseeds are from Aldebaran. It says, although the Hyadian starseeds share a physical appearance with a human, they are more spiritually and intellectually evolved. Their DNA is a lot older, so they've already gone through their ascension process. Oh, hey, that's kind of cool. Maybe they're cousins that can help. So for this reason, they'll have an open mind, share knowledge, universal laws, yada, yada, yada. They came to Earth as spiritual ambassadors to assist humanity for now. Aldebaran has a warrior, protector, hero kind of vibe. So the starseeds from Hyadian will reflect that. They are here to help with the clearing of negativity and fear, to bring in the light of love and compassion. La 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 la. I'm just curious to see. So now I know somebody named the Hyadians is connected to Aldebaran. It's good to know. Used to travel until I took the jab. Oh, Utica, what you could do is there's a thing that's called chelation. And they are, golly, they're little tablets that help to bind and detox heavy minerals and metals. I'm trying to remember. Cilantro was one of those things that worked for aluminum. Although I gotta admit, I got pretty burnt out on cilantro. And then, well, thanks for stopping by, Paul. But yeah, I was. Let me see. For the heavy metals, for aluminum, it was cilantro. And then, but there are chelation tablets out there, and they can certainly help with any of the leftovers from the jab. I'm not pretty sure that there's other things out there. Iodine might be beneficial. The loam is nice. It's very distinctive. I almost wish I could send you a disc of it, but I don't have any redwoods on my farm. We used to, yeah, cilantro but that's just for aluminum poisoning. Hey, Hypnicity. Well, it's not really that you're late. It's just that I flung one up here thinking it might be helpful for people. I actually started to get the tap yesterday, and then I was incredibly busy yesterday. Didn't get to it. I thought, oh, well, nobody's probably going to be coming here today. And all these lovely people showed up. So, but yeah, our region used to be incense cedars, and our incense cedars were very similar to the redwoods, but they're pretty much gone now. We've got a few of the old incense cedars that are left. I would love to reforest with those. The pines that we have now, obviously, they're used for the logging industry out here. So they're unispecies, and you don't usually see the mixture of trees. And then I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not going to curse. Some person decided somehow that willow, which is not indigenous to our region, should be planted as cover and help for the salmon in our streams. And it's like, That is an extremely invasive, non-native plant for our region. Why in the world didn't you plant salal? Why didn't you go with myrtle? Why didn't you go with an indigenous species? Anyway, I will not get on the rant with that. Aw. Wow, how about that for the universal? Do I know when? I do not. I really don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule. I do know that the last, oh, was it last Sunday? Um, Tama Eke and Huna Flash both were saying that they were headed up to Vancouver. I actually missed the sallow. We used to have acres and acres of it. It's an understory brushy type thing. Dogwood trees would be the similar thing on the East Coast and the Midwest. But it thrives in the understories for our forests here, and also around the streams and creeks. And yeah, the water needs to be cool for the salmon to come up. Um, it's part of their process as they come in from the ocean, and then they go all the way up the streams, and then they lay their eggs and pass because it's the end of their lifespan. But we did not need willows here. Willows are completely the wrong species. But neither here nor there. Actually, I wonder, let's see. We'll try checking to see if Flash might have the information over on his own website. So let me see what we got. Okay, so we have Vancouver Burning Mask. That's the main event. Here we go. Wow, I wasn't. Wow. So there, it looks like there's 6 elders that are coming to Burning Mask. There is the live stream that will happen. Let's see. And there will be 2 different mass dragon rides at Vancouver. So it looks like September 22nd, he's going to be in Vancouver, British Columbia, and that will be for the first mass dragon ride. So today is the 20th. Yeah, see, he's got to be already up in Vancouver, BC. So I was right. They've already flown up there because he's going to be doing, that's at Kitsilano at the St. James Community Center. It says Mel, I can't read, Mel Lehan Hall. That's located at 3214 West 10th Avenue. And so that mass dragon ride, wow, that's really reasonable. It's $88 Canadian, and it's going to be held 3 p.m. through 8 p.m. And so that's a group experience that he's going to be having with that one. And then the other mass dragon ride is going to be the same location, and that'll be held on September 26th. And I looks like the well, I don't see it for Burning Mask itself. Let's see if I can find the dates. Here we go. Okay. So the Burning Mask is going to be on September 27th through the 29th, but the first dragon ride is going to be the 22nd. So that's just day after tomorrow that he's going to be holding that. So my guess is he's going to be there. And yeah, I'm sure if you did a donation, you could watch it live. Oh, cool. 1111. Hi, Bora Bora. That is awesome, Utica. 1111 here in India. Oh, that's sad. Yeah. Well, there's two different events that are happening. What happened is they created the burning mask first, and then he did first one of the dragon rides. And like I said, these are going to be similar to the codes that I just did for the doing and the undoing, except for with with Huna. Well, it's two things. One, it's a group experience because there's going to be 144 people. And I don't have to tell you what happens in a concert. And so with Huna Flash, he brings a very large, refined magnetic energy to it. And so it's going to be quite an experience, I am sure. And so the dragon ride itself will happen on the 22nd. And it looks like they still have some tickets for that if you wanted to do the mass dragon ride. And that's on the 22nd. Let me see if I can. I don't know just how unhappy Bora Bora is probably going to yell at me for this, but let me put that in there. That's the information for the dragon rides. Then I'll pop it up there for people to see. So that's the information. I don't know what he's going to be doing for the equinox tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to be busy doing seals tomorrow or what exactly. Office at hoh.earth for Huna Flash. That'd be cool if you could. I mean, some of the stuff is just, it's fun to be there, in person whenever you're doing group things like that. I mean, I saw him whenever, golly, all of us he was just beginning. He was a young guy back in the 90s. And my husband and I had gone up to a psychic affair up in Portland area. St. Helens on the Oregon side. So, yeah, no, that second link, did you see the link that I shared? This one? Did you see this? Great. That is the page that I was just on that was explaining that he's got two of those. One of them is on the 22nd. So, and that's the other thing too. I don't know if he's doing seal ceremonies or what exactly he's been doing. I gotta be honest. I keep up with him, but at the same time, that's part of being a Huna is that once you get your seal and you begin doing these protocols, you do go out into the world and you do begin doing quite a bit of stuff. What year did I get sealed? 2021. And there was also, it was called the Navigators of the First Light whenever I undertook it. Now it's called the Dragon Masters course. And the energy that comes off of that, I've got to keep in mind, I mean, I've been pretty in tune with my own energy stuff since I was a kid and actively doing the energy healing for the animals and with the Shiatsu based stuff since 2003. So when I say that, whenever I was undergoing the seal and then the other, it took me 3 years to integrate the energy from the course that was in there. And I know other people, they'll do it much faster. And it's not a race. Everybody's auric field is going to respond as quickly as they can. And sometimes it takes time. But it definitely upgrades. It's like I'll give you a quick example. I did, that would have been 2021. Now I have worked on my husband's energy field a ton of times. I mean, over the decades, it's just simply something that I do daily. And when I didn't take the course prior to the seal. I actually took the seal first. Okay, I'll back it up right quick. When I first came across a video from Huna Flash, it was a recommendation on YouTube. Prior to me encountering that, and the reason that it was recommended was because in 2021 I had it was one of those deals where anything that said Lemurian in the title, I clicked on it, and I just needed it. And then I had dolphins and whales show up whenever I did my morning energy balancing, my meditations. And when I saw the video with Huna Flash, it was like I could feel pressure pressing in on my shoulders and my neck and spine. And that stayed for about 3 days after the very first video that I watched with him. It's extremely rare for anybody else's energy to actually touch me like that. And so I paid attention. And with the dolphins and the whales, they're like, you're going to get sealed. So it was just a matter of prioritizing. And I went ahead and got the seal. And then right after that, same thing where they were pressing on me that not only did I need to do the seal, but I also needed to follow up with the course. And I really appreciate that it was called Navigators of the First Light, because it was like you're learning to navigate your own canoe. And as turbulent as the timelines were being, as turbulent as the energy was being at the time, it was very unique to me to have all of this energy coming and working magnetically and with the frequency and the energy to just upgrade absolutely everything. It really expanded me. And to get back to the example of my husband, back in the 90s, I used to do a dog grooming, and it was our own store. And one of the things I used to do was just toenails. If somebody brought in their dog, I'd just trim their toenails for like $4 or $5. And we had this guy come in. The owner was a great. The dog was just a real sweetheart. Big, chunky Rottweiler, intact male. I want to say he was 18 months. I know he's definitely well over a year, but definitely not older than that. Well, of course, the males, the intact males, they're desperately worried about their toenails being trimmed. I don't know what it is about it. It's weird. I mean, it's kind of like you're chopping their bits and pieces off for whatever reason. You're not, but that's sure how they act. Anyways, so my husband had the dog in a big bear hug to help restrain him. He was not being mean. But what happened was whenever I was trimming the toenail, the dog, and if you've seen Rottweilers, they have a very large, because they're left over from the warhounds that the Romans used. They were a Molossian dog. So they're a Mastiff, big solid chunk of head. Slammed his head back, hit my husband straight in the breastbone. And all the blood drained out of his face. I mean, he turned white. And I'm like, what do you need? And he's like, no, just get it done. But we pretty much all heard the pop come from his breastbone. Well, his breastbone had got cracked. There's not very much you can do about that. So he just kind of toughed it out. It did mend. Now, keep in mind, he had this basically bumped since the 90s. When I was doing the harmonization that you heard me do, that Tihe Hori Hora, he came in right afterwards. He was in another room. He came in and he said, you've got to hear this. And I was kind of busy. And I said, what? And he said, when you did that, my breastbone just popped and it reset itself. It hurt like heck because he just had it repopped, but it reset itself. Now, do you understand why I'm so keen on this stuff? It's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Yeah, Utica, some of the stuff that you're getting from that is just because, one, he is a large man to begin with. And two, his energy is very large. And sometimes that can be very daunting. But I will say that um, I am very impressed with him as far as he is very respectful of women. He is extremely respectful for grandmother energy, which I personally love. Not just because I'm grandmother energy, but because I really appreciate that as a strong man, he knows that he can learn much from the grandmothers and the grandfathers. Um, I really appreciate that. Ah, you got to sleep. I'll bet that was really nice. Yay! Sound sleeps. You'll have to tell us how you did that, Bora Bora. Or is it just because the energy was nice? And I'm sorry to hear that woo, I could feel somebody's energy shift there. That was impressive. Have the email, but there was a delayed and foggy response. I am so sorry about that, Gray. Um, I I think the trouble is that they have just one person that's functioning as their office administration person, and I don't know if that's Hunatama Ake right now. I know that she's the one that's in charge of the technical stuff, but I don't know who's in charge of their emails. And unfortunately, I'm just going by the website that you did. Yeah, the whales literally came into your bay. I really liked Erin. Yeah, I saw Erin a few times. Erin, I want to say her last name is Lyons. She's an interesting young lady doing yoga poses related to the root. This wasn't the head. This was the head. It wasn't the root. And I don't think it was you did some. Not to be mean. It usually it is something big. So I don't know. Huna Flash, I've been talking about him a lot this morning, and that's the other really cool thing. Once you're connected and you have your seal, it's like your little lights in a grid that have come on around the globe. You feel connected because Huna is one in the many, many in the one. And you will remember you, and you will remember your place in the connection in the world wide web. The real world wide web. We'll be like uh, little redwoods ourselves, or whales. That'll be fun. Speaking of whales, yesterday was Unra Toho, which is the humpback whale. It celebrates the day of the humpback whale, and the energy for that day then is celebration. Today is Unra Sa, which is the breath. So it is the sacred breath, which is kind of appropriate that I'm sitting here going blah, blah, blah on a Saturday. Aww. Well, I'm so sorry that it's been such a difficult time for you, but I am really glad that you feel safe and you can just relax and get a decent sleep. Bora Bora, that's really great. Oh, but to get back to the original intent for this was, yeah, I was just simply coming in, just mostly to let people know that if you've been feeling ungrounded or exhausted, it's not a you thing. There's nothing wrong with you. Obviously, go to your doctor if you feel so moved. Please do. But there are a lot of people who have been feeling the exact same thing. Either one of two things: either you're feeling incredibly drained and exhausted, and in that case, I really recommend taking a nap. And the other one is sometimes whenever even you can just be sitting or laying in bed or something, you'll feel dizzy, lightheaded, like the room is spinning or something. And again, both of these are just it's this new energy that is coming in. And so it takes our bodies time in order to do the upgrading that's going to have to happen. Get some great light codes coming in. There are amazing light codes that have been going right now. Um, Again, rest as much as you can. It's helpful to know that it's not something wrong with you. In fact, it is every indication that there is everything right with you, because these are symptoms of the energy that's coming in, and your DNA is activating. That's what's causing the dizzy sensation, because your energy system is learning to navigate with the new light and the new energy that's coming in. Our Earth has gone into planet Matea. So it's, yeah, like Hypnicity is saying, the vertigo has been awful recently. It's the same thing for everybody. You know, we've all had patches where it's like, oh, you know, brace yourself, the ship is moving. That's just that we're learning to navigate. Usually it will pass within about a day. And yeah, the showers are very helpful for grounding. If you cannot get out into nature and you can't get to hug your tree or something due to weather, you can use YouTube. There's a whole bunch of things where there's like videos where people are walking. You can look at waterfalls. You can imagine yourself going along a forest path. And then that way, because our brains can't tell the difference between what's imagined and what's real. So that will help you to integrate and to get that grounding sensation when you can't be out in nature. The other thing I like to do is I enjoy playing with well, like my favorites here, crystals. It's kyanite. This is a piece of kyanite. So I absolutely love playing with the crystals. Got a piece of selenite as well. Yay. Whoosh. Yes, and I love the plants. Your throat is making me feel like coughing, constantly nauseated. Utica, that's feeling into your energy system right quick. Yeah, that can all feel very connected. Yeah, sea salt. And you know, I have been putting salt in my shoes, the Himalayan rock salt in my shoes, for another thing, for grounding. And I have to say, for myself, it's been amazing to overcome some of the exhaustion. It's helping to wick away the energy, the negative energies, and bringing it back into balance again. Utica, the other thing that you can do is you can do like necklaces, or you can put blue colored stones. Lapis is a really nice blue stone, but any of the blue stones you can hold against your throat. And there are throat chakra activations on YouTube that you can do as well. I'm trying to remember what tone for that. Tonaro would be the brow chakra. Sinira is the one for the throat chakra. And then Maki is the balancer between the two. The exhaustion is tough. I have to say, whenever I put the sea salt, I put, it wasn't sea salt, it was Himalayan rock salt. And the reason that I went with the Himalayan rock salt was, one, it was on hand, but two, it's got 80 different trace minerals. So it's just something that I've put maybe a teaspoon of it and in my shoes. And it's, at first, the very first week that I did that, I was changing the salt out whenever it felt flat. So I would get up, put it in my shoes. Around 11 o'clock, I'd be over at the trash can knocking out the old, putting in some fresh. And it was amazing. It doubled my productivity. I was able to stay awake a lot longer. And then I was able to go ahead and ground my energy a lot better. And it's for myself, it's like being able to walk on the beach without having to go to the beach, because right now we are still in tourist season. So getting to walk on the beach is not very easy right now. Oh, ouch. Moved my mom to a senior place after my sister passed. I am so, so, so sorry. Yeah, it's Bora Bora. Some of it is traumatized, but some of it is just, oh golly. It's the fact that her child has also passed away, and your sister has passed away. So I am so, so sorry for that. That's a lot of change. Yeah, absolutely. Sending her love. And crying is the only way forward. I mean, she's having to work through that grief process, and it's it's horrible. Um, mm, I'll be. That's interesting. Sage in our shoes at the first sun dance when we were told to wear moccasins for the thorns. That is a great idea. And yeah, absolute hugs and blessings to you and your mom. Yeah, that's from all of us. So, so sorry to hear that. Yeah, she's been crying for months. You know, with your mom being in the senior place, are you able um oh dear God, having health and landlady issues. Bora Bora, were you here whenever we were doing the codes that I did earlier? I was doing an undoing and a doing, and also a harmonization. There are two videos, and at the moment there's just two videos that I have on my channel. But one of them, it is for Lemurian recentering. If you go into that, there's a small introduction. It's not very long at all, but there is also a timestamp for those codes itself. You can certainly play that. You can do that in your mom's new place, and you can certainly play that in your space as well. I would put those on a loop, truthfully. I just simply would. And if you've got access to any of the MP3s, or if you've got any of the replays where I'm doing like the energy healing and things, those are energies that you'll be able to collapse those. Yeah. 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 Goodness, goodness, goodness. But like I said, it's in. You'll be able to find it on my channel. It'll be under the videos. And if you don't want to do that one, the other one that I have, the soothing energy for the animals, that will also work, because I was able to use both of those. Well, I have a friend, and I put hers on a loop. I did the MP3 for her on a CD, old technology, and she was able to do it for a repeat. And I'm going to tell you exactly what she did. She had a narcissistic, blah blah blah, real nasty piece of work for a neighbor that had purchased a home right next to her, and my friend couldn't go out into her backyard without this guy making it horrid for her. And so what I told her to do with that was to place it really low. You don't have to play it very loud at all. In fact, they don't have to hear it. What's going to happen is the energy from both of those will be capable in collapsing that energy and changing it. Now, it took well over 2 weeks, but she basically played it on the loop pointed towards the house. Oh, and what happened was, she was, after about a month, 2 weeks to a month, she was out in the backyard, and he came out to yell at her like he had been doing. And she said he came out, started to yell at her, got a funny look on his face. As she put it, he glitched. He opened his mouth, didn't say anything, turned around, walked back inside. And she thought, huh. And the very next day, that man put that house up for sale and moved. So Yay. So whenever I say that the energy in those is amazing, I really mean it is amazing. I've just simply seen them do incredible things. It takes time. It will not work. Well, I won't say it won't work, but I usually find things like that where it's a chronic toxic situation. Sometimes it can take a long time. The other one that I did though, it was just my regular energy healing, the regular Shiatsu and P3. Um, my sister had taken the MP3 into her work, and it was a room full of Cancerians, and they were doing the low road of being Cancerians, and they were drama, 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 office drama, 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 and it can be pretty toxic. Anyways, my sister had sat down. She started playing that on low. She said all of a sudden she noticed after about 5 minutes that there was this hush that had fallen over the office. And so what she did was she looked up and she said every single person was happily sitting at their desk doing their work. And that was just it. They were quiet because they had just been absorbed in their own work. And it wasn't like it was suddenly flipping them from the low frequency into the high frequency capabilities. Okay, here we go. So can I play it? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is going to work for anybody. I love so many of my original family, but they are not spiritually awakened. And they're very 3D, very whatever's right in front of them. And it doesn't matter, because what's happened is most of my stuff, most of my frequency music, and most of my MP3s and most of these techniques, they speak to the highest good. And quite frankly, like you're saying, with he watches the political news for 14 hours, it is a manipulation. That is manipulation. And so it's a distorted filter is what's happening, and it is put in place by 2D entities just so that they can feed off of that. And so what's happening with both of these energies, the harmonization, it's going to help balance the energy for your parents with that. It also helps to collapse things. So it's like it takes things into 0 point. So like I say, we'll have these stories, and hi Leah, we'll have these stories, but what is going to happen is it will collapse those stories. It will 0 point them. It will clean slate it so that you don't actually have to go forward repeating the same story over and over and over. Yeah, he sleeps with the wireless headphones listening. Yeah, Utica, any of the ones that I've been doing, go ahead and just play that. You don't even need to do it on a repeat if you can't figure it out or you don't want to, but it doesn't have to be at a high volume. This is quantum mechanics that I'm using on here. And so it does not have to be next to him. It can be really played on low, and it will work. It will absolutely work. Don't have the transportation. Oh, I know. I've used I don't know if it'll work for you or not, but I've used a bicycle. Yeah, Bora Bora, can you use a bicycle? I've had to use a bicycle in the past before. If you use a bicycle, be very careful. Just be situationally aware. You want to make sure that you're proactive against the cars that are going. Yeah, Utica, absolutely. Go ahead and play it on low a lot. Because like you're saying, it's going to help you to reclaim your space. Yay. Oh, I am so sorry, Leah. Can you please get a message? I'm a sea turtle. I don't remember what we had for the sea turtles this week. Let me see if I can find them. Let's see, we had Fatwa, Gaf, Pele, Tutar. Let's see if this is the right card. I think that was Tutar. Oh well. You know what? I'm going to crack out the. Do those. Let me grab the unicorns. Yeah, that's just it. So many of the people, my immediate family isn't particularly enlightened. You see, I've got my mom is, my father, not so much. My brother, not so much. My sister is, but she's, she does, I would say just dabbling, dip the toe in sort of a deal. But like my extended cousins, oh wow. And it's one of those deals where me being on here is a huge leap, because when I was growing up, my family is very gifted. There were some things that were, like telepathy, and different psychic displays. They were the same as breathing. I mean, it was just a given natural. And so with us, we were trained from a young age. You never let anybody outside the family know that you could do that. Yeah, see the stupid politics. It's ridiculous. I don't care who it is. It's politics. It's sports. Anything that's a one person against the other. And even people's names can be triggering. So, but what that is, and you guys are going to get a little bored with hearing this, but literally, it was created by 2D entities. Did same thing. All of that crap is created from a 2D entity. So what you've got on both sides of that, all of it, the names, the situations, all of that is 2D entities that have created that filter, created that story, and it's creating division. So if you have anger, fear, resentments, jealousy, all of that, you are getting that energy siphoned off of you. You'll feel it because you'll walk away from that and you will feel exhausted, depleted. You're going to want to cry because it aches. Absolutely turn off the TV, the babble, because what's happened is they don't care. The 2D entities do not care. They are parasites. They have created a scary weapons grade version of propaganda. So anything that you see that is related to politics, either side of the aisle, they're the ones that are feeding off of you. Nobody wins. The only people that win are the 2D entities. Do not feed them. Okie dokie. So we wanted a card pull for a turtle. Honu. Actually, Honu. So receive. Pretty. So Leah for Honus. So that'll also be Karen if she's lurking. Says receive. Be open to receiving goodness. Believe you are worthy of abundance, and a gift is coming to you soon. Yay. Amanda Carroll, it's going to be on my channel. So Debbie Dement, which is where this video is being streamed from. And it's going to be under my video tab. Yay. Do you see it? There's only 2 that are on there. There's only 2 videos. So those are the recordings. If you're looking for the MP3s, those are in my shop. Which reminds me, I wanted to say Wednesday, I did a recording with Loren Gailey, and she's with, I want to say it's New Earth 1, I think is her channel. And so what's going to happen is I will be, she'll be doing the recording live Well, we did the recording, so she'll be doing that, hosting that on September 30th. So she's going to have a special offer because I created special MP3s for her and her audience. So if you've been just kind of sitting back watching my shows and everything, there's going to be a special price for the MP3s on her show that are going to happen on well, it's going to be on the 30th, so that's going to be a little whiles away. But it's going to be on September 30th. So that's something, the show will be something to be coming up as well. So, oh yeah, I think I made a dent whenever I pointed out to her after she'd taken me to a different state for an abortion in need that she shouldn't have to. Mm-hmm. And some of this stuff is, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Same thing as hypnicity is saying above. Don't choose a specific outcome. Pray for the most benevolent outcomes. It is Lauren Gailey. Let me see if I can. That was so cool. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, they're in there. I've also got a link now in my description box, so you can follow it directly to my store. But Lauren Gailey and I with New, I think it's New Earth One. Hopefully. I know Lauren Gailey is her name though. So you can find her via YouTube with that. She's still got the stuff to do for giving me. I've gotten the thumbnail that they're going to use. And they've been creating a sales page and everything. So we did the recording on Wednesday, which was kind of daunting, but we got her done. And so that'll be yeah. She's a blonde. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've followed Lauren for quite a while now. So it was pretty cool to finally get over on her show. And it was the energy healing for animals that I did for her show. So I did specific MP3s for her audience. And I think she was kind of blown away by what's been evolving. Thanks for stopping by. I did some. Well, you know, it was a lot of fun. I had created the MP3s a really long time ago, truthfully. And then I got waylaid by the dolphins and their Lemurian quest. So it's just for this gradual thing of coming back, and it's like, no, we and then her schedule was out of sync with mine. So it's been kind of crazy. So, but she's a real sweetheart, you know. I really enjoyed I enjoyed being on the recording with her. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, she's a neat lady. I really appreciate everything that she did. But yeah, she was, and that wasn't even like I said, that wasn't even the Lemurian stuff. that was my pure basic energy healing, my MP3 and energy healing. And in truth, you know, Karen Robinson has been the one shoving behind the scenes and dragging me out from underneath the rock, because like I said, for decades I had been trained never to reveal outside the family what I could do. So it's been quite a journey. And of course, Illumination Portal, Valerie, you've been amazing helping me this year, getting comfortable out here. Well, thank you for stopping by, Lisa. I appreciate that. And thank you for everybody that has come in today. Hopefully this has been helpful. I know we've kind of, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Karen Robinson. She's the real reason that I'm up here, dolphins aside. she's really been the mover and the shaker that said basically, you've got to get out of here for these critters. They've got to have this stuff. And it was her kitty cat that really helped, you know, the MP3, because I put it on the MP3 because of her cat. I mean, I woke up and you know, I don't mind doing one-on-ones, but her kitty cat was really in a dire way whenever I was just conked out asleep. And so we put it on the MP3. So it's been a journey, but yeah, the MP3s have been really the ticket for that. It basically gives my energy healing into your hands so that you can take charge of how much you use it. Wonderful. Well, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out of here, and enjoy the videos, enjoy the live stream. I thank everybody for stopping by today, and I really appreciate hanging out with you today. And it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, go ahead. There's, like I said, there's 2 videos that are posted, so you can go ahead and use that. And any of the replays, go ahead and reuse that. And if you're catching this on a replay, be sure to comment down below so that I know that you stopped by. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And next up, I will be on Tuesday with the Oracle Pool. And then I will be on Wednesday with Valerie at Illumination Portal. Okay, guys. Love you. Have a great weekend. Bye.